Discard, discard, discard. Discard, discard, discard. 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 Discard.
Right, that's enough of that. I actually sound like I'm losing my voice. I must have been growling underneath my breath or something. I'm not a very noisy trainer, but something's going on because my throat feels really sore now. Oh well. All right, so this was back to my heavy workout. So this was cycled back round to push workout 1, where I work up to either a heavy shoulder press, a heavy incline press, or a heavy bench press, either for sets of 5, sets of 3, double or a single. So I was on shoulder press this time, seated shoulder press, and I managed to work up to 200 kilos for a single, which I was really, really pleased with. It's the most I've done in a very long time. That's towards the most I've ever done. I think the most I've ever done is 202 kilos, thereabouts. To be honest with you, I'm not great with my keeping track of my numbers. I'm okay with squat, bench, dead, but the other stuff, it all kind of blends into one. You know, once you pick up something heavy, you kind of just pick up something heavy. But overall, I was still very, very pleased with this. It wasn't the easiest by any means. It was a grinder, but I had got my safety pins there, happy limpet, to make sure I was okay. After that, I moved on to some pin press. Now, pin press are something that I use here and there. I can't honestly say that it's a massive regular part of my workout, but what I had noticed recently is that my lockouts are slowing down. So I have programmed in for myself slightly more frequent use of the pin press. So you can use board presses, pin presses. Now, I've got these portable pins that I use on the outside. I've also got another set of pins on the inside of my frame. The only reason I don't bench press on the inside of my frame when I'm doing YouTube is simply because the camera, you just can't see me. That's literally the only reason I do it. Also with pin presses, they can be a bit hard on the bars. So that's also another reason. When you're a gym owner, you don't want to smash up your bars. You don't want to smash the pins. You don't want to smash the bars. So that's another reason I don't do them all that often. Because they're very, very difficult to control down. When you're using, decent enough weights, they're very difficult to control down. And I'm not really looking to control it down too much, to be honest with you. I wasn't completely dive bombing it, but I wasn't really trying to catch the negative. I just wanted to concentrate on exploding out of the position. Now, I set the bar maybe 2 or 3 inches above chest. I don't know exactly. The way my spacing in my power rack is set up, unfortunately, it would mean that the next one down would be more or less touching my chest. And that wasn't what I needed today. And it's just really hard to get into as well because I'm quite a big lump. It's just a bit much to get into, to be honest with you. So I said it was around 2 or 3 inches over my chest. I didn't get my tape measure out. Maybe one of you guys can afterwards. I'm sure someone on the internet will. But again, I worked up to a good weight. I worked up to 260 for a set of 5. Now, 260 for 5 obviously is a lot, but you also have to remember, I'm not bench and pressing. That's not a full range of motion. That's 2 or 3 inches off my chest. So it's like a partial range of motion. So you can overload and use a lot more weight. I would imagine for a single, where I am at the moment in terms of my strength, I would say I'd be good for 280, 290, maybe even 300, to be honest with you, the way that felt. Because I got the 260 for 5. The last one was a grinder, but the others weren't too bad. I wasn't using any leg drive as well. To be honest with you, it's really hard to use leg drive on a pin press. You just don't generate the power. You do it and it's just, you're doing it for the sake of doing it. It doesn't transfer, or for me, should I say, I don't get it to transfer. I'm not great on leg drive anyway. So to leg drive off a pin is really, really hard without sort of arching my back and sort of doing some weird limbo movements. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Now, the pin press is really good for helping the lockouts, getting some brutally strong triceps. I was getting a bit of chest work in, but as I said, this wasn't muscle hypertrophy I was looking for. It was just putting miles in the tank for the future, and just trying to build strength. That was it. So when I started on shoulder press, it took me a couple of sets to loosen up, to be honest with you. I felt a little stiff, so I took my time with a few of the reps, and I just kind of go by feel, to be honest with you. When I did 1 and 2 plates, I did them very slow and controlled, and I was just trying to just get that kind of mind-muscle connection, get things firing a little bit. Wake the shoulders up, wake the elbows up, because my elbows are feeling a tiny bit, well, I say elbow. I'm getting a little bit of tendonitis at the moment that I need to be aware of in my left elbow. And that's why I've started wearing the neoprene elbow sleeves from the outset, because I find them really good at just warming up the joints, just warming up the area. And as I get heavier, I start using my proper elbow wraps. But literally from set 1 at the moment, with all of my pushing stuff, I am putting on the elbow sleeves just to kind of warm the joint up. So if you're someone that maybe suffers from a bit of stiffness, bit of tendonitis or whatever, I highly recommend a half decent pair of neoprene elbow sleeves. And as I said, I'm not doing it to get any elasticity, any bounce or anything like that. I use that in my elbow straps. It's just literally to warm up the area, and it just starts to feel a little warmer and a little better as I was going on. So aside from that, that's pretty much it. Okay, so as usual, thank you very much. Had some wonderful interactions with people on here recently. KG, I'm really glad to hear that your chest is getting better and you're able to move a little bit of weight, and you'll get there slowly but surely, and I'm glad the incline bench was working for you. So, and that's the whole idea of my channel. I'm trying to build a nice community. I'm an old man, I've been around the block a bit, I've been in the gym for 30 years, and I've had every injury under the sun because I was an idiot when I was younger. But because of that, it's made me into a reasonable trainer. Because I managed to rehab myself and bounce back from injuries. So if there is anything I can advise any of you guys with, if you've got any questions, queries, anything about training, nutrition, whatever, just drop it in the comments and I'll do my best to respond. And if I do miss you, I apologise, I will get there. sometimes the comments, because I always get the notification for the comments and I respond relatively quickly, but sometimes the notifications just don't come up. Or sometimes it's on a chain of comments, so I'll reply to one and then maybe miss the other. So, you know, I said, if I have missed you, I do apologise. It's not deliberate and I'll do my best to get to you. Okay, right, with that in mind, I'm going to leave it there. So you know how it goes. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit notifications, and all that good stuff. You guys take care, and I'll speak to you soon.